There is a country on this earth where Christianity does not officially exist. No churches, no pastors, no congregations. But what governments write on paper and what actually happens behind closed doors are two very different things. And what is happening behind closed doors in Afghanistan right now will genuinely surprise you. Everything in this documentary comes from verified reports by Open Doors and international human rights organizations. These are not rumors. These are documented realities that almost nobody is talking about. But before we get into what life looks like for a Christian inside Afghanistan today, you need to understand one thing. Because how Christianity even found its way into one of the most closed countries on earth didn't happen the way you would expect. And once you understand that, you'll realize the Taliban didn't just fail to stop it. They accidentally made it stronger. For most of its history, Afghanistan had no meaningful Christian presence. That began changing almost invisibly in the 1990s. Shortwave radio broadcasts in Dari and Pashto reached Afghan homes. Then 2001 cracked Afghanistan open to the outside world for the first time in decades. Internet cafes appeared in Kabul. Satellite dishes went up on rooftops. And some Afghans, curious, searching, quietly dissatisfied, found their way to something they had never encountered before. By 2020, human rights organizations estimated between 10,000 and 50,000 secret Afghan Christians. Not one of them could worship openly. Not one could tell their neighbors. Many couldn't even tell their own families. Then August 2021 arrived. When the Taliban retook Kabul, the world watched the chaos at the airport. But while cameras pointed at the runway, something else was happening quietly across the city. The Taliban began a systematic search. They had lists, phone records, names from seized NGO databases. Open Doors described what followed as one of the most dangerous moments for Afghan Christians in living memory. The Christians who survived by disappearing completely, which is exactly what one teenage boy in Kabul had already been doing for 3 years. Because he had something hidden under his floorboards that could end his life, and the person most likely to find it was his own father. We will call him Elias. His story was documented by a Christian organization that helped him flee Afghanistan. Elias was 14 when he first encountered Christianity, not in a church, not through a pastor. Through a borrowed phone, browser history deleted after every single session. His father held a position within the Taliban. Elias understood exactly what discovery would mean, not just for him, but for his entire family. And yet he kept reading. For 3 years, he lived 2 separate lives. Obedient Taliban household son by day, and in secret made pages, a printed Gospel of John, folded small enough to fit inside a shoe, hidden under his bedroom floorboard. Those 8 pages were everything he had. Then one morning his father found them. His father did not call his colleagues. He did not drag his son into the street. He sat across from his 17-year-old boy for 3 hours and wept. He begged, he argued, and when nothing worked, he made a choice that defied everything his ideology told him. He gave Elias 1 week to disappear, not because he accepted his son's faith, but because underneath everything, he was still his father. Elias crossed into Pakistan alone, on foot through the mountains. At 17, he carried almost nothing, but he carried those 8 pages. When asked if he regretted any of it, he said, "I spent 3 years hiding what I believed. I will not spend the rest of my life doing the same." Open Doors documented over 60 verified cases of Afghan Christians arrested or killed in 2023 and 2024 alone. The real number, researchers say, is far higher. Because in Afghanistan, when a Christian disappears, no record acknowledges they ever existed. Elias carried 8 folded pages across a mountain range, alone at 17. In winter, he still has them. Afghanistan officially has no Christians, but Elias exists. And so do thousands of others, still inside that country tonight, carrying their faith in the only place the Taliban cannot search. Inside their minds, this has been Edge of Faith. Subscribe. Because next Tuesday we're going inside a country where Christians have survived completely hidden for over 70 years. And the government still has no idea how many there are. I'll see you then.